5 convictions of ministering in the Western Suburbs. Number 1, preach the gospel. It's the power of God to save for all those who believe, and it's been beautiful to see the way in which in 23 years I've seen atheists, agnostics, people from pretty much every major world religion, straight, gay, you name it, come to know Christ. Even lawyers, would you believe? I've even seen lawyers converted. It's a powerful gospel. Preaching the gospel from the scriptures is the second thing I want to say, that we're not only just talking about Jesus Christ and Him crucified, but we're actually, eventually in the conversations I have with people who are searching, I want to have that time when we're opening the Bible together. It may have different forms to it, but at the end of the day, to actually access the Word of God, let God speak for Himself. I mean, I've always viewed the fact that we need to get out of God's way by bringing people directly to the Word. He'll do the work for us. That's number 2. And number 3 will be clarity. A lot of people in the Western Suburbs have had experiences where school hasn't been a success for them. You know, lifting the hood of an engine for me is like people from a non-book culture opening up the Bible. You've already told yourself you're going to fail. So I want to really make sure that there's no reason that they don't understand. In fact, we've got a rule at church that says if you don't understand, it's always the teacher's fault. We assume that every biblical truth is understandable, and so responsibility lays with every teacher to teach it clearly as we ought. And that's a gospel mandate. 1 Corinthians 14, Colossians 4 sends us down that road. And the other thing is, of course, is that it's truth in relationships, and love is the key. Love will cover a multitude of sins, and no matter how different the person you're sharing Christ with is, and the people group that you're dealing with is from your own culture, love will cover a multitude of sins and misgivings and mistakes and misreadings, because in the end people know whether you are for them or against them. And from your body language to your commitment to them, to the time you spend, to the fact that you want to know all of their life, not just to save them and another notch on the belt, they'll know the difference. And so truth in relationship, that's God's preferred soil for bringing people to Himself.
What talks about?
Well, number 5, of course, is being vulnerable. I want to close the gap between the pastor and his people. A lot of folk, especially in the Western Suburbs, just don't have a lot of success behind them, a lot of negative self-talk, feel like that you're different, you're middle class, you're university trained, they're not, that you've got it together, that you don't battle in ways that they battle in. And so being vulnerable, sharing my sins, sharing my struggles. So when I had, for example, a 3-month bout of anxiety about 10 years ago, my whole congregation eventually got to know it, and even though I didn't know where it came from and why it went, they knew I walked in that road and felt deep sympathy for those who walk in that same road. So I'm forever wanting to close the gap between them and myself, so that when I'm speaking they realise I'm speaking from the same ground level. The ground at the foot of the cross is very flat, and we share similar struggles and experience similar joys as well.